is a mistake earlier on, and it comes down to who can centralize the most. Who can centralize the most? Now, because obviously if white captures here, you can now free up your bishop, or you could capture towards the center with your c-pawn and play the bishop in this direction, once again fighting for e4. So the center's under tension, and you can see where black wants to stick their forces on these 2 points, and we can another idea for the knight is to come out this way and to put it under tension. Now, if white advances the c-pawn, it can lose the tension. It gains space, but it loses tension. And so, you know, perhaps white will do that because they plan an attack somewhere else. They're going to stabilize the center. But at this point, the center is dynamic, it's in flux. There's a lot of potential that you can do. But here are the rules when the center's not resolved. You want, and the pieces aren't necessarily exchanging or in contact with each other. You want to remember the furthest with the mostest towards the center, because at some point they're going to either attack down the flank or attack through the center, and you want to have more. You want to overprotect the center. So once the center resolves into a closed or open or half open, you've got the position. And at some point, black often gets this E thrust in and does quite well at that point. So, what do you do? Buckle your shoe. What do you do when the center's not resolved yet? You centralize. You centralize. You make sure you don't do too many pawn moves on the edge of the board. You centralize, and you don't do too many pawn moves, particularly around the king, but you keep your king safe, and you would choose to do a patient approach. And remember, if you're white and your opponent does do an early c5, or even looking at b5, the idea is that to play rapidly and to attack, ruin the structure and create problems for white if they can on the queen side through active pieces. And I can assure you that if you just make sure you follow the opening principle of do not attack until you finish the opening phase. Okay? What do I mean by do not attack until you finish the opening phase? What I mean is that your king needs to be castled, your heavies need to be connected, your rooks need to be connected, and you need to have a grip over the center. You need to focus on the center. Okay? You need to not move the same piece twice in the opening. And also, you don't want to